So we do have the ban. Tempest banning Tomb of the Spider Queen, Ballistix banning Towers of Doom. Interesting. First game will be BOE.
Yep, BOE. Towers of Doom ban, a really interesting one. Maybe it's a strategy they want to keep hidden for the mid-season brawl. They figured some way to kind of revolutionize the map, play it differently than the control the bottom alts or something like that. We're all waiting for somebody to figure that one out. It's been a pretty common way to play the map, just control that bottom bell tower and win the game that way. Maybe we'll see one day some innovation or some changes to the map. Already seen some changes to the sappers, which I think are really healthy. Well, as we go into BOE, this is going to be first pick for Ballistix. So let's see if Tempest allows the Hanzo through. Remember earlier, they did not ban it, and they were totally crushed in game 4.
Ballistix banning Garrosh. Sign does not really prefer to play Garrosh instead. And it's actually Hooligan, so there's a bit of change already in the ban.
So this is Tempest saying, you can have the Hanzo, but we get the Genji. You get to choose one. That's what the Sonya ban is designed to say. Obviously, Sonya pairs very well with Hanzo too, so there's a lot of teasing going on here with this one. I personally think that the Hanzo ban is the safest one. Even if they pick up Genji, you have a lot of options. You have the Maiev. So let's see if they lock in the Sonya ban. It's kind of a weird one.
And you can also steal away Uther. Maybe that's not the way you want to go. Changing it up with a Malfi.
Stick with the Sonya. Okay. This is not because they think Sonya is first ban material. They're just trying to get a strong pairing in second rotation here. This also soft counters the potential Medivh pick, which is also open. I think Ballistix, I mean, SC is the best Hanzo in this tournament. Maybe you can make an argument for Rich being better, but SC's got the more playtime, he's got a larger win rate.
And in terms of consistency, I think SC wins.
Yeah.
On this map, pretty scary, regardless of who is playing on that Hanzo.
They take the Genji.
Ooh.
What do you pair with the Hanzo pick here, though? Because this is kind of weird, right?
This is already weird. Weird bans. Everything open, Maiev, Medivh, Genji, and the Hanzo.
Yeah.
And Hanzo makes it through.
Medivh not as powerful here, so what do you run with the Hanzo? It's a tough call. Earlier we saw Garrosh Stukov being the big go-to, but obviously Garrosh has been a ban that's been moved away from. And we had a really defensive Tychus draft with the Hanzo coming through that defeated Tempest in the last series. But it's tough to pick a pairing for the Hanzo.
Yeah, Uther would be just sealing away the support if they want to go towards that path, which they have not been choosing so much. So instead, Malfurion, which Hyde has been playing so well tonight.
This is probably the safest way to go about the Hanzo pick. And Genji, you want the Uther in this rotation. I think if you want to run the heavy Dragon Blade comp, but it's not great for the map. You want to have more flexibility, I think, with your support. So Stukov is definitely on their mind. But if they want either the Stukov or the Uther, they need to lock it in now. Likely to be banned right afterwards. I think the Uther ban and the Uther pick are the most logical ones.
With the Garrosh, if they want to go into the tank a little bit more.
They take the Stukov, which means they're going to take Maiev. So that's what I was saying. If they took like Maiev and, you know, a tank here, it's like, well, definitely they're going to ban Stukov. Or if you take, you know, a top laner that's tanky here and, you know, Maiev, then it's like, well, we're going to ban the Uther. Or, sorry, not Maiev, another DPS. It's like, well, obviously this is going to be an Uther ban, like a Greymane or something came out. But they do lock in the Stukov, so support's off the cards now. Very difficult ban now for Tempest. As, wow, Muradin.
Hooligan's Muradin, I think, one of his better tank pool. But there are a lot.
Yeah.
You can't really snipe onto one. Anubarak, ETC, Tyrael.
Well, they get the next pick. I would have rather seen a solo lane ban and they get the counter solo lane pick. I mean, easier, I think. That's all how drafting works in Heroes of the Storm. Mostly is counter picks and counter strategies. It's not about hero pools because we only have 4 bans, so you got to make them count. And a Murden ban like this just feels like a shot in the dark. You know, you're playing darts in an empty room with the lights off, trying to hit that bullseye with this one. Not gonna connect.
I would like to see material ban, if it's possible.
From Ballistix?
From Ballistix, making sure their cage will be picking up a few kills at least.
They ban ETC instead, which means that Anubarak is now the top tank pick. Only other tanks available are Johanna and... Am I missing anybody? No, right? Johanna's the only other meta hero. We're going to go into the... What, Stitches territory here? I don't think so.
Stitches.
I think this is going to be Johanna...
In 2018 with Malfurion entangling root pair.
Johanna pick against Hanzo is very strong, so if Tempest locks in the Anubarak here, Ballistix will be happy with the Johanna pick, I'd say. They grab both
Tyrael and
Anubarak. So, very old school style Tyrael top lane. On BOE of all maps, he's going to have a hard time against any meta solo laner. Could be a Phoenix draft, possibly. To really destroy the Tyrael, he will have a horrible time in the top lane. It could also be the draft of a Sonya. Tough to execute against the Tyrael.
They're really body blocking out Hooligan Zero Pool here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of heroes that you've got left. Hooligan's only played 6 heroes this season.
3 bans, 2 taken. What's left?
Of the 6 heroes that Hooligan has played, the only one available is Johanna. And this is least played hero, 3 games. 100% win rate, but I think that's what we're going to have to go to. Strong against the Hanzo. Can interrupt Senk if you use it correctly. If you use the Blessed Shield correctly, can ruin some of these combos. Arthas. For the first time we're seeing Arthas played by Hooligan this year. And in 2017, he played 4 games of Arthas, so his 5th game of Arthas since HGC was created. So we are seeing some less meta picks here with this massive tank choke. Who are they protecting? Who is the 5th pick here for Tempest? I think a Phoenix pick would give them a lot of flexibility. Greymane, fantastic pick with this. Even a Tracer. Not too bad. It's going to be tough to get kills with the Tracer against this draft. Very tanky from Ballistix. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling Artanis for some reason.
Artanis. So triple front line?
Triple front line. Hanzo takes the objective and you win. You don't really team fight. Oh, leave me. They already had 2 tanks, of course.
They wanted to have more flexibility in terms of poke. Because look at Ballistix draft. Did that win any race ever? No. Spoiler alert, no. But what they can do with the Li Ming is after they win the first phase during halftime, Li Ming will always give them the extra range to close out the Immortal. I really, really prefer Tempest draft here. It's a weird one with the soul lane. Like, Daka is going to have a great time against the Tyrael and is a global. But the Li Ming pick, I think, really seals the deal for me as to the objective. And this map has always been objective focused. They got the Hanzo. And I think this draft went wrong for Ballistix the second they locked in the Genji. They did not bring the Abathur Genji that we've seen so much from them on this map. All smiles here. Remember, the series is pretty lighthearted. As we go into game number 1. It will be Dami on the Hanzo. Goods playing Tyrael. Sign on the Anubarak, so it will be confirming kind of this top lane Tyrael, quote unquote. Hooligan on that Arthas, his 5th since HGC started. I don't have his stats from Super League, but pretty rare hero for this guy.
SDE Genji. I believe he tried Maiev once, going for that melee assassin a few times last weekend, just for trials, I guess, and then just switching back to the range.
Yeah, it was definitely less successful. I prefer this setup more. As you can see, good disrespecting potential ganks with the Genji available. Also preventing any early relic. SD just going to come down here and harass though. Dami taking a ton of damage. We'll get away just fine. So right now, this is a very good trade for Tempest. Bio Kill Switch can clean this up real quick. They get a good trade here, which is important because the top lane is going to be lost big time. The first wave is not the end of the world in the solo lane matchup because you shield the minions and it's like, aha, well, fine. But then after the shield wears off, you're like, this is a bad time. They're even sending Genji up here to try to further this advantage. And then the Genji's going to come rotate down here to try to cut them off.
Ballistix does not, I guess, does have okay wave clear with Maiev, but they would be poked out super hard though without the Genji. I guess even with the Genji, they will be poked out super hard. So possibly just rotating up and down was a waste. He's not really going for that healing fountain strategy also.
Burrow coming through here, Brush Stalk, I should say. Dami the target. The root comes through, but Dami is still blown up. And Ballistix controls the first blood with that Dahaka rotation. And they've had a great time controlling this 4-man, even when sending Genji up top. So they're winning harder in the top lane, and in the bot lane they're having full control with these picks. With that global that Ballistix is missing, or sorry, that Tempest is missing right now. Top lane matchup going to become more and more impactful as we get closer to 10 because right now he's just winning the minions, he's winning the trade, he's damaging the wall, but eventually he's going to kill the wall. He's going to kill the wall, start hurting the fort, and that's where we're going to have Ballistix pull ahead in experience.
Material can solo lane.
Oh yeah, no, he's not a bad solo laner by any
And
means.
yeah, wave clear not that bad, and you can kind of sustain with the shield, but you can't really push by yourself. You're not really making any play, you're not global, and you can actually get a lot more value with the shield on your teammates.
Look at this invade. Xingjiang again for the flank, hoping they would retreat south. Does not happen. Root comes in. Magi is the target here. He's already popped his heal. Waiting for that bio kill switch. Not even going to use it here. Might have been on cooldown. We'll have his Q again in just a second. Alt Qs it. As we head into this, Hooligan gets trapped and killed. And that is going to be the trade here. Tempest now controlling the map. 1-to-1 on the kill score.
Only a single kill.
Yeah, the Immortal phase is easily controlled by Tempest with this kill. They have the Hanzo pick.
And Li Ming.
Exactly, so now that the Immortals change position and Ballistix has Defender's advantage, they have the ability to burn it down with that Li Ming pick. Look at how Lockdown can freely do damage here and not be affected.
They don't have to be close to it. Dami super far away.
And Ballistix doesn't have a race hero. They can't even go try to do damage. Dahaka?
Dahaka goes in for?
That's why I don't like this draft. This draft is so dive-centric. It's so dive-centric. He tried. He scratched it. Stuck his Yoshi tongue out at it, but
I've said many times, even if you win the team fight, if you lose the objective, you may lose more on this map, but they're not losing any members, only getting their own value with the objective, then you can basically win without fighting.
And that's why this Tyrael pick is super cool, because it means that you have so much safety, that you can't be dove easily by Genji. It is not Divine Shield for Dragonblade either, so Genji's going to have trouble post-10 against Sanctification.
Oh man, blown up with that orb.
Just really bad positioning there by Hooligan, and really good accuracy from Lockdown. They might get more. If another reset comes through, this could be disastrous. SDE is the target. He avoids that burrow charge. He's low. Where's that bio kill switch? Doesn't have it, and he's going to get blown up. Good dives in with the Aldruins. This is going to be a fort. They're going to get Junga too. No way out. Stunned. Root to deny him from running. Didn't even need the root. And Tempest is smashing this first game. Total control. And this draft, I think, just suits the map better. Sure, it's a weak soul lane matchup, but what's more important, the soul lane on a 2-lane map or the objective? It's the objective.
Yes.
Everyone knows
No, Wolf! You're wrong! There'll be one person at least in the chat saying that. But Arthur's main tank? Like, how far are we going back? Like, beginning of 2017? Or 2016? Not really falling.
I mean, yeah, we're looking at, like, I almost want to say beginning or end of 2016, where we were seeing it as the Tyrael counter. They picked it after the Tyrael, but...
And lots of Grey mains back then, so great counter against the Grey main too, but...
Well, this is range damage, this is not dive Tyrael.
Yes.
This is defensive Tyrael. This is Tyrael to protect the DPSs that are winning the Immortal race. Everything outside the Immortal is irrelevant,
that's
is what Tempest is
because
saying.
we have Morden ban, Garrosh ban, ETC ban, Tyrael and Nubarak taken away. He was left with less choices, I would say. Can't say no choices other than Arthur's. There were a few others, like Johanna, Arthur's. What else? Level 20 Murky?
Let's not go that far. Rexar? No. Let's talk about what Ballistix can do to come back into this game. I'm going to have to let this Immortal go. I cannot take a fight against this Tyrael draft with double tank before 10. They can't do it before Tempest hits 10. Dahaka is going to soak top, so they're going to try to catch up in experience. Obviously, that's one way they're narrowing the gap right now with the Dahaka up there in the top lane. But look at this timing. They grab the camp. It's right next to the Immortal spawn for them. And this is just going to be a... It's not even a race. I don't even want to call it an Immortal race. It's not fair to call it that. It's not fair to describe it. That race would imply that two participants are trying to rush the Immortals down. There's only one participant I see in this race. It's the Hanzo Li Ming comp. And they just jump on this again. Ballistix has to give this up because they don't have 10. Dahaka's pushing top. And they're just trying to eliminate shields. This is going to put further ahead Tempest. Now that 10 is up for Ballistix, though, can they force a fight? Difficult with a 2/3 shield Immortal. But after the Immortal, maybe they can find a window. Maybe they can find an opportunity.
Is this going to be...
Containment does no.
No. No.
I know it's not what you were going to
ask. The way for Tempest to actually win the draft, by choking the tank pool for the opponent. I don't think it will work against Hiss, but so far, even against Hooligan, it has been working okay. With the start of the Garrosh ban, I think that's somewhat okay. But against the foreign team, when they go to that MSP, I don't think it's going to work against the European players especially.
I think this is only going to work on this map. And it's working out just fine. Hooligan trying to self-sustain here with the R. The Sync committed to get the movement speed.
Caught, there's the Li Ming and the Hanzo.
Arrow
with the stun SCS, he's so low! We'll get away.
Getting a ton of damage on to Lockdown here. Lockdown gets the shield though from the Tyrael. Survives, gets the reset, gets that dominance health, and that's going to be another kill. SC vaults away, avoids that smite. I don't know if that vault was necessary, but he got a little bit scared. And now it's going to be wall down on the keep. I'm going to have total map control. Top fort still alive. Very short respawn timers here for Ballistix as we're only 9 minutes into the game. But the next fight they will need to show advantage. They need to show their fight. They need to win a fight with their heroics. They need to take a post-10 fight now. They take a real straight-up 5v5 team fight.
Ooh, the Haka comes thinking that they are doing the camp. It seemed like it. Tempest actually making a decision not to take the camp was the smart one.
Yeah, that's
fighting in that choke point, I think, was going to be a big problem when they have everything down. Arrows down, Twilight Dreams down.
Yeah, and that's the only way Ballistix wins the fight, right? They win that defensive fight where everyone's retreating, and Tempest does not make that mistake. Completely controls this. And now Tempest is on the verge of 13. The next Immortal phase is a little ways away, probably about a minute or so. And Ballistix just has to play passive, play patient. use vision control, or sorry, use information with their vision they have. They don't have vision control, but they know that everyone's bots, so they're going to take this camp. Look at this dive on the Genji, by the way, in the bot lane, like 5-man dive.
Genji just spotted because there's nothing else to do on the map until the objectives are spawned.
Yeah, he has to stay there to get the soak. They're trying to kill him, they're failing.
And also, just in case they backdoor to the keep.
Yeah.
Keep wall, at least damage it slightly. Next one spawning in 13 seconds, and Tempest still holding the key. The pokes, the range damage is the key. How are they going to win the race? By just having like at least 3-man wipe?
I mean, I think that they have to do something with the Dragon Blade, but it's just so difficult with Tyrael on the other side. There's nothing to force the Sank out early. And of course, no one's going to argue that Tempest is the more mechanical team than Ballistix, not today, not in 2018. But that doesn't factor in enough in this game. Like, Ballistix can't out-mechanic their way into this draft. Not against a team of the caliber of Tempest, with a draft that is this lopsided. They do buy some time, actually, to eliminate some of the shields, but as you can see, as I said before, when Hanzo Leeming is on the other side, there is no race. What race? How many shields are going to be left is what Ballistix is asking.
For Immortals, for Tempest also.
Yeah, huge advantage. Just like last time. So lucky. Long down's like, ho ho ho! Orbs and orbs and orbs.
Instant nature's cure by Hyde right there.
Yeah.
And Hooligan, all he's been doing in this game was try to block the missiles, block the scatter arrow, but gets taken out.
Tempest is playing safe like they have all night. What can you do? The Tyrael pick was so smart. And they're going to win this 17-3-4-3 advantage. So no one's even scratching the Immortal. Dahaka was pushing top. They got 13, but he didn't get the fort.
But they get the globes, at least. That's it. That's about it.
Yeah.
More for the sustain. They lose the objective, which is going straight to the keep now.
They won't even get the fort. They escape at least, which could have been worse if Jungha really committed to that fort and died. It would have been not worth getting the fort for that. As you say, it goes straight to the keep. And they're just rushing this down. Hooligan tries to go for a sneak flank engage. Lockdown avoids the Howling Blast. He's spotted by the Scatter Arrow. There's so much vision given here by Dami. Jungha avoids the burrow charge, but this is on the keep wall. They bought a little bit of time. You know, the Immortals lost all of its shield, so it's going to the melee range now. They don't have a lot of ranged attacks, but still, this has been pretty good for Ballistix. This has not been as bad as it could have been.
Gets the drag on to Dami, but the Immortal Stun is way too strong. SC pops that cage for the delay SC. Not popping that Dragon Blade yet. Arthur's in the cocoon will get damaged a lot. Isolation off the Tyrael makes sure there's no sanctification.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the positioning though. Once that's worn off, he can sank here, but not to be silenced. Not to be silenced. And here we go. Dragon Blade's out. Tommy's going down. Sank finally comes off here after the silence, but it's too late. And Ballistix sees a chance here. They combine the silence there to make sure that he cannot get that sank off. And then they isolate him for that silence, then follow up with the silence with the Stukov. This push almost gets the keep, meanwhile. In fact, it's going to be pretty close. It's only SD here. I think they might get it.
It will go down.
Yeah.
Yes, too many minions. And we have a Genji here. Uh-oh, 3-man lost. But they got the keep.
Yeah.
He sprays, but not really accomplishing anything here as keep's already down early camp.
Oh, that was a close call. That was so close to a dead Jungha. Delays his Hearth, so still a win here for Tempest. 16 is up. Ballistix does not want to give up this camp. They don't want to give further map control to this top lane to Tempest because that's pushing towards their only surviving keep. This game just feels like, minus that one kill switch that was pulled by Ballistix where they had the shutdown on the Sank and they had that Dragon Blade coming through. Besides that, like, they haven't been able to be the initiators. They've been the defensive engagers. That one time, that one fight they won. But beyond that, what can Ballistix do to take the Immortal control away? Like, Hanzo I would love to see Hanzo's win rate on this map in Korea, because I get the feeling it'd be above 80%. We just see these Hanzo defensive comps crush. The other team has to sloppily engage. They have to try to fight. They know the race is lost. And then they lose every time because the team is so practiced against that. That's why first pick on this map is so strong, but not when you pick a Genji. Ballistix picks a Genji. And now they are in trouble.
Yeah, struggling after picking that Maiev also right after. Took off silence. Not really the biggest tool with the cage that was used defensively last time. And with that, they had isolation onto Tyrael. They bought a good time before that Saint came down, so I think that's like the best reason why they won that team fight onto the chase. But that's only when everything falls in together, like the isolation onto Tyrael, cage dropping in everyone in the middle. Tempest, they can just let that one go. They can let the Immortal go and just keep the range because they have all the poke. And get this, even at the Immortal onto the right side, they can still do a lot more damage.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, they have Mirror Ball now, and so even when the Immortal's in the worst position, they're still crushing it because they have Li Ming. Ballistix has no poke.
So much poke, and Hooligan's the only one taking damage.
Like, Ballistix can only win a fight with dive.
Coming in finally.
Sign gets dragged. Silence does not pair up here very well. Cleanse is used. Bit of a misstep there because the Howling Blast did not connect, but just to be safe, Tide tosses that down. The Nature's Cure. But they accomplished nothing with this. Now they have to set for another dive. And all the while, poke, poke, poke. Halftime's over, so this is going to be a better position now.
And the longer time goes, they will have the bottom push catapult going to that core now. Only one, but we'll stack with the other one very soon.
Also the Shaman Camp going with that as well.
As he spotted.
Beetle's doing a lot for Sign here, getting that extra vision. I love that SD is trying to split push this at least. That's something. Well, they can't poke, they can't do any damage. And the core is under attack now. Well, that sentry turret's gonna go down first.
Always.
Look at that, orb connects at max range. They're just buying time here, they're scratching the surface, but they're never really able to find any success. This draft, I mean, this game was won in the draft for Tempest, and Ballistix has not proven that this comp they've chosen against it can make anything happen. Yeah,
they're just doing free damage because the Haka is away. They see that at the bottom lane.
Ballistix decided to commit to lowering the shield, but I don't know if that's really going to matter too much given that the keep is already at half health.
I think this game is just teaching everyone how important Hanzo is and the drafting style.
Yeah.
There are a few more, like even if Ballistix has picked up Avala with the Genji, it could have been a lot better in terms of racing and some range damage at least.
Like, how could this draft ever be allowed with the Hanzo Li Ming? How could that ever happen? You know, this is literally everything Tempest would have ever wanted. They get it. Ballistix got one last shot. See if they can take that defensive engage again. Dragon Blade's out onto lockdown. He does blink away. Oh, look at the stun. The Sank this time not blocked, not interrupted. Lava Force slamming into the heroes on the side of Ballistix. SCE escapes for now. Or sorry, SC escapes for now. Well, this is just going to be the wipe to end the game. The Immortal is going to finish off the core. And that's going to be game number one, going to Tempest, continuing that momentum from their series earlier. They're already going to Sweden. Now they're 2 games away from defeating the 2nd seed.
Of course, Ballistix also going to that MSB.
Yes.
But this was just poor drafting. One of the worst draft I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean...
including all the L5 days also.
Talk about a bad draft, like...
On BOE.
You basically brought a pocket knife to a gunfight.
And you can't even throw that pocket knife.
Yeah, it's a pocket knife that's strapped to your hand.
Yes. Like the Wii controller.
Yeah. That's right. It's got rubber on it too. It's less effective at doing damage. Like, Nintendo's not responsible for your loss. All right. So, as you can see, Lockdown 0 deaths. Absolutely fantastic Li Ming play in this first game. There were a few times where he was in risky positioning, SCE jumping on him with Junga trying to come in there with Hooligan, but he's able to avoid almost every route. Walk smooth, 0 death, 64k. 64k to 29, and look at the siege damage on the side of Ballistix. I mean, what are we gonna do? Like, I mean, I guess Junga did some damage to the Immortal. He was in the top lane the entire time. That's why he has 124, because that's all he did all